Hello, everyone. This is Yu Tsai. Welcome to Let's Talk. Today is Tuesday. That means it's our special editions of Giving Back Tuesday. Let's Talk. And today we're talking to guests who are in the food industry, staying resilient as possible, staying strong, and while at the same time still giving and providing back to our community. And today my guest is Jessica Schmidt. She's the general manager of Little Dome. It's located in Los Feliz, just around the corner of my house. I can hop and jump there. And welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, how is it going so far?
You know, it's definitely very different than what it was about 4 months ago, but we're all hanging in. And I will say, the thing about restaurants is if you've ever worked in one, it's very familial. So you really bond together over kind of high stress situations and problem solving. And this team has been incredible. The local community has been incredible. And those of our staff that can't be with us right now have also been incredible. And we're all just keeping in touch and trying to do what we can to keep this place going.
And it's a funny commonality that I find that when I ask how are you doing to all my guests, and this is a common thread.
Yeah.
We'll all just need to take that nice little reset, nice little breath to make sure that we're all okay, and we all will be okay. Well, tell us a little bit about Little Dome.
Well, Little Dom's has been a part of the Los Feliz community since 2008. But really, I think when I think of Little Dom's, I think of it being the Cheers of Los Feliz. It's a beautiful, very neighborhood restaurant. We're so grateful to be a part of this community in Los Angeles, to kind of nest into a community that has such love and support. And hopefully you come here and it should feel like the kind of place that you could saunter into any old time and you're just welcomed with open arms. You know, the people here, hopefully we have such regularity. You know, it's really about creating comfortable spaces for people to enjoy themselves, to unwind, and to feel loved and appreciated. I mean, that's why we go out to eat, right? Is to enjoy
Yes.
the experiential parts of all of that.
And
So
what kind of food does it serve?
very comforting Italian American food. So the chef is New Orleans Italian. So we do a lot of fun flair with New Orleans style dishes here and there. And we
I hear
celebrate.
carbs. All I hear is
Yeah.
carbs.
I have proteins.
You know what? I love carbs. I'm just saying. The reason I'm saying that because I'm drooling. You know, these editions on Tuesday morning talks, it just makes me so hungry.
We should start all sending you some food afterwards so then you can have
Oh
some.
my, oh my gosh. What, thank you for that gesture. And it's so important that I love the opportunity to speak with you today because you are my community. You are around the corner. And before the talk this morning, one of my staff member that will help me with all the technical, my art director, Louis, who lives right by your restaurant. And first thing he walked in today before the technical testing started, he says, we have to go there, and that would be the first place we're going to visit the moment we can. So I want to give you a little, just give you that little shout out that how my staff is making sure that we go there.
Thank you, Louis. This is my hugging you.
And guys, I don't know if this is a trivial fact or not, and I'm just going to say it because Louis says, just so everybody knows, it is John Hamm's favorite restaurant. He's always there. Oh, how funny is that?
I happen to be sitting in his booth.
We didn't plan this, guys. We did not plan this. Oh, we love John Hamm. He's wonderful. And I photographed him. He's a wonderful human being. And you know what? How funny that you're sitting at that booth. Well, tell me, what is it like now sitting in a restaurant that's quite empty? How do you adjust and how do you come out of that?
Well, I think, you know, my very beautiful bar is now kind of like a packing center for to go products at the moment. And so, you know, there at first it was pretty like a little sad walking into work and just seeing that we have a very beautiful restaurant. We're very proud of the way this place looks. It's a very lovely salvaged, rebuilt space that feels very authentic and lovely. So it was really sad at first, but now it's kind of become exciting because now the prospect of figuring out how to be able to comfortably get our guests back in here, to be able to see them again, to be able to take care of them again, to be able to have more of the service side of the interaction is starting to be our next problem to solve. So, you know, we just sat yesterday and we spent a long time talking about how does that look and what do we do? And, you know, it's kind of like opening a new restaurant. So we're looking at this beautiful space and getting creative with it.
What
And
a positive way to look at the situation. I love hearing. That's the first time I heard people say that it's like opening a new restaurant. It is like Top Chef challenge. It's restaurant war right now. You are in
the
restaurant
four
war.
seats, three tables, go.
You know what? It kind of is. I'm addicted to Top Chef. So for those of you guys who don't know, but there's a challenge called called Restaurant War, where they make the restaurant happen overnight. And essentially, that's what you had to do. You had to pivot. But most importantly, by pivoting, you are taking care of the people around you. And I would love you to share that with us.
Yeah. So, you know, I think everybody woke up on the 16th and it was just a reactionary world. And we were all just like, okay, go. What do we do? And a big priority for us here was we were very sad to have to let some people go. But those of us that were here knew that that temporary furlough, we had to work that much harder to make sure there was a space for our employees to return to when we could have them back in. So we all came up with a bunch of different ideas. And I think the thing that worked the most for us is we moved our business model to obviously stronger to go game, a little more limited menu. But we wanted to do something beyond the normal for people in our neighborhood. And grocery stores were crazy, and people couldn't have access to things that we had access to. So we built out little bodega in Los Feliz. So we've opened up our little deli. We've always had the sliced meats and things, but we added in the element of going more farm direct. So we've been working with local farmers up in Ventura County. We've expanded those farm relationships by double at this point to bring in
Wow.
great quality produce, to be able to give that chain of distribution a home still. Those farmers were struggling to get their product placed places and they were wasting a lot. So we were able to like alleviate some of that with a few people and then bring quality to our people here and farm fresh eggs and farm fresh meats and it's been neat. I think that that element isn't going to go away now. You know what
I
I mean?
love that. We call it silver lining. We like to, but it's
Yeah,
probably the best way to describe it. That I do find because in my industry, in the fashion and photography, celebrity industry, we hire a lot of catering services, pop up restaurants, and then like that you guys will provide
yeah,
food on our set. But I'll be the first to admit here that we're the most wasteful people. We order more to impress people. We don't take the food home. We've gotten better over the years that we request takeout boxes when the food comes so the crew can take the food home. But the fact is that a lot of unnecessary food does get wasted. And one of the things that we're learning through this and adjusting as we're trying to figure out how to get back to our new normal is that we will be more cautious about that. We'll be more, we'll
absolutely.
want to be, and we want to work with pop-up restaurants that like yours that on our set. How do we become more sustainable, and what relationship can we develop with other people around us that will actually take the food in a clean way, process in a way that it can be service to others who need it, because that is so important. And you in Las Vegas, you're right around the corner of Hollywood, so you know the demands and the need that we need to provide for our community. So first of all, thank you for changing and pivoting to have a bodega, because I lived in New York and I love my bodega around the
Yeah.
corner. And bodega is synonymous to the word community. That's what bodega
Oh,
really should mean, because you go to one bodega around your corner and you live there for the rest
yeah,
of your
exactly.
life. It is a micro habitat that we need, and we become parasites to that to that bodega. So, and I truly believe that by doing that, you are rebuilding and reinforcing a community, and that is so ever important right now, especially geographically. Las Vegas is known for its art culture, known for foot traffic, and known for people who really do celebrate the local cuisines. And thank you for
Oh,
remaining that service to the community.
thanks. Well, yeah, we're really excited about that. We've been doing in conjunction with that, we work with those farms and we do these $25 three-course meals for
Oh,
everybody, just something to give back to everybody that they can have something kind of nice.
simplicity goes a long way.
Yeah,
I know it sounds silly to say, "Oh, we're doing a three-course meal." When you said that, my heart just go, "Oh my God, I don't have to cook three-course meal for
yeah,
myself." It's actually really hard when you are locked down by yourself, because it's easy to say, "I don't want to make the meal." I find it very difficult to cook for myself. I'm better when I have friends, 5, 10 friends come over and I can cook, because I know I'll resort to that ramen noodles every night. No, I will make it glamorous. I will put beautiful mushrooms in it. I'll put my
Yeah.
beautiful sliced pork. I will make it glamorous, but I am resorting to what's fastest and simplest. And to know that you do that, that's my next meal, guys. That
Thanks.
is going to be my next meal because it is so fascinating for me to see, especially around my own community, around Hollywood, where a lot of restaurants do a lot of entertainment business, as you guys are too. That they started to understand, okay, we're serving the community, not just the wealthies, not just the privileged, not just the industry people. And I've interviewed Electric Avenue, who had a pop-up restaurant, who then all of a sudden says, we're going to deliver this high quality food and we're going to figure out how we can get it to everyday people in our community. And and when I see that, when I see what Little Dome is doing, it's what makes me smile and be proud of the influence that the community have done and able to reconnect with a new sector of the business where fashion and food can come together and figure out how to be more resilient
Yeah.
at the same time more cautious the footprints we put in this world. That makes me tremendously proud and happy to hear.
Oh, I love it too. I mean, this is the thing is everybody's got to eat, but if we can come together and find a way to embrace around what's going on right now, I've noticed, you know, people just like popping in to see if we're okay, like sitting
Oh,
there in the little deli, and you know that sense of community and that sense that we are going through this all together, and being a little bit more patient. I think that's going to be a long term,
long term.
which I think
Boy,
is
do we
hard.
have to learn
So,
to be patient. You guys, if your food is 15 minutes late, please don't call and chase after people. And please don't go on Yelp and put they're late because we all need a little bit of that. But what you said that made me smile so much is that you are here today talking about food with a smile on your face. And I know in the very beginning of this pandemic, people were not smiling and we were worried, we were scared. And I feel like just the mere fact that you're smiling through this difficult time and still find the silver lining and be able to provide your community is so ever important.
thank
It
you.
truly is.
I'm very fortunate. We have a really strong, amazing group of people here that, and we've been able to hire back through this a little bit here, a little bit there. We've hired back 14 people since
Oh,
the 22nd. Thank you very much to our community and the people who are supporting us, and we really appreciate that. But, um, you know, everybody here has a great attitude. You know, yeah, it's of course it's a little unnerving when everything you know changes overnight and then you're just trying to figure out what you're going to be. But I think that we all pulled together and we recognized our ability to be able to be a pillar in this community still. And we recognized that a lot of people were scared. So if we could just lead with smiles still underneath our mask,
kindness,
tell I
kindness.
turn up and be there to listen and try to help meet the needs of whatever people needed. You know, I know it sounds silly, but like sometimes if you just say, "Oh, everybody's asking me for this product for flour, can I go find more flour?" And then you find that resource, and we found different ways to start communicating with people. We joined more and more online platforms, and that part's been really uniquely beautiful. Like just finding a way to still connect when you can't walk up to the table and talk to someone.
And you know what? That's amazing because I always felt like sometimes you go to a restaurant that you love, you eat there, it's always the same menu, or it's a staple, and you become creature habit. And what I find that when I have these talks with you, people like you and other restaurateurs and restaurant owners, that they are paying attention to what the consumer needs more than ever. And they're adjusting because we know as chefs, people who cook in the kitchen, they're a domain of their world. You eat what I put out there sometimes, right? I mean, listen, it happens. But the fact is, mere fact, what you just said, that you're sourcing even just flowers that you know that brings happiness and smile to other people's faces as they can't do it themselves. That is a service, and that's a service that we also desperately need because the fact is, we just need somebody to listen sometimes. It's not just giving. We just want to, did you hear me? And by hearing them and providing what they need, it goes a long way because that takes away what I think loneliness, right? Being
Yeah.
lonely because nobody's talking to you. Being lonely because nobody can hear you. Being lonely because it's all of that. But just simply be able to go to your local bodega like yours, be able to go to Little Domes and say, you know, I like to have this meal, and this meal makes me feel like this. Will you guys pivot to adjust to make this meal? And when you do, and you have, it changes lives, guys. It really does changes lives. We don't need much these days. We really don't. What we just need to say, I heard you, and I'm going to try my best to provide for you.
Yeah.
And that is the community serving that we need to do around everybody around us. And I am so happy to know that you're my neighbor. And I'm so happy I'm going to be able to taste your food soon. I'm dripping, I'm drooling.
Well, we can't wait to have you in
Oh,
anytime.
absolutely. And you know
Um,
what? Maybe I'll have to give John Hamm a call instead of his booth with him.
yeah. Also, I'm doing a free delivery for orders of $75 or more from 5:30 to 9.
Oh,
So
amazing. So guys
we
out
can just
there,
drop stuff to you, no problem.
well, I know that a lot of my fans are in my community in Los Angeles area and Los Feliz area. Please do support. I just talked to Elizabeth, who's a restaurateur in Las Vegas, and I asked this question, and that was, how do we help you? And she gave a great answer. Simply pick up the phone and order out and let
Yeah.
us feed you. And guys, please remember what you live is what we're learning, what Jessica is saying that is so important is that by you ordering food, you are
Yeah.
not helping just the people at the restaurant being employed. You're not helping just the bottom line. What you're helping is trickle down effect to all the people who deliver food, to the
Yeah.
people who are growing the food, and to the farmers and the local farmers. I love it because you have now become farm to table.
Yes, exactly. We're literally that now.
You know,
And
it
I
may
cry
not be your
about
it may not be in your plan, but it is now.
I cry about 16 times a day
Oh,
around the gratitude from just those of you that do call or show up. But you know what? My favorite thing, this isn't what you need to do for me, but this is my favorite thing that people do for us right now, is that we'll order online through like maybe a caviar instead of going through us directly, which is fine. But they'll type us a note just saying like, it was my anniversary and we
oh,
always came to Little Dom's. Thank you so much for still being open. Thank you so much for still having what we need. And we've included extra packages and little things like celebration dinners and such like that. And in those moments where people are looking for a way again to just let us know that they're here to support us, but also connect us to something personal in their lives. That's like that keeps us going. That gives us energy. That lifts our spirits, and we do it again tomorrow with the same big smile.
you're
So
gonna
thank
make
you
me
so much.
cry. That is so important. The human interactions we all need it so badly. And I said this so many times on this show is that I'm here every day because I need you guys out there to connect with me. And this is where I stay not go crazy. This is the way I don't break down in tears every single day because I have a place that I can come to, and I have found a place that I can find love and able to share what I love with you guys. And this every Tuesday talking to the food industry people is one of the most beautiful and I feel most gratifying to hear. And listen, I love my fashion industry. I love what we do. I love the influence that we can do for others. I love taking pictures, but what I love more than anything is eating,
Yeah.
guys. I think that's the truth. And thank you, Jessica, so much, and Jen, thank you for Little Dome to stay open. And that's what we need to do for our community is to do that. One question I do have for you: are the restaurant community people talking to each other? Are you guys supporting each other and Zoom calls or group chats? Are you guys trying to figure out a way that you can be solidarity together?
Yeah, that's a great question. When this first happened, I reached out to more of people in my community than I had in a while. I think
Mm,
sometimes you get kind of insular in your own space,
right, you get a tunnel
figure out
vision.
what we're doing, right?
Mm.
And so I did. I kind of looked, I particularly reached out to a lot of women that I knew that were in this business doing different things um, to see what they were doing. And so I have friends that are like have now taken their restaurant background and are just doing straight up nonprofit, like Another Round, Another Rally, which is a great nonprofit that is helping to find money for people who work in the service industry that have lost their income. And but I've been talking to other people who are working in the restaurants. I've been doing interesting things like this interview where I've connected to other people that I've interviewed and listened to what their ideas are, whether they're in Texas or Nashville or wherever. And I think that that's super helpful because we're all kind of just trying to, again, figure out how we're going to open new businesses and what that looks like. And so getting creative ideas from other people has been really, really helpful. So yeah, I
I
think a lot of us are talking.
That's so great, and you echo something that I want to go ahead and put out there again, and that is going out to eat is experiential, and we often forget that. We often think that we're just looking at the menu, we have the meal, but it is energy from the server, from the waiter who comes, and from maitre d's that seat you, the smile that we get, those interaction is all part of experiential experience of going to a restaurant. And that we all desperately need. We get to share through Instagram right now with people cooking at home, but there's nothing like it when you go to a space that somebody built for you,
Yeah.
for that 1.5 hours of every meal, that they're there just to service you. At that, we desperately need you guys to come back.
Well, we're ready. We're ready and waiting. As soon as we can, we're here. So thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing right now. People like you that are talking to us and supporting these communities. And thank you to all the people watching that are supporting us by purchasing things or donating to causes like 911, where they're buying meals to go to hospitality or the hospitals. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out.
We'll get through it. And really important is that Jessica, for being here today, and I need to thank you, because by being here today, you're part of the initiative for Let's Talk. We're donating 500 masks to first responders in your name. And it's an initiative that we have set up that for every guest that says yes to come on the show, and when they say yes, automatically 500 masks is being donated to first responders. And for those of you guys who like to match or help, you can go to lifeletstalk.com to get the details. No pressure, no need. If you just want to share the words, we're happy to do so. That is something that I'm trying to do, to give back as little as I can, and hopefully it helps. But to this day, we have raised over 100,000 masks thus far, and we'll continue our effort. So thank you for saying yes to be on the show with me, and thank you for being here, because by being here, you're helping so many other people, and you feeding people. How much we love that.
Thank you so much.
And we'll stay in contact.
I'm so happy that we could contribute to masks.
Absolutely. And thank you. And I'm looking forward to that meal.
All right.